My name's Galena, and I'm the fiancé of Joshua Lee McCollister, who was murdered on July 8th by Deunn Willis and robbed by Danielle Durand. Josh liked to record his voice, giving people messages. And I just listened to the one that he recorded on Father's Day. To get to it, I had to scroll back through his messages to me. I had to scroll over the photograph of himself with the puppy that he'd sent me, I think about an hour before he died. The puppy he got from Danielle Durand for our kids. I have to remember that I didn't respond to his message when he sent it to me an hour before he died. Because I was busy. You know, I think of things like, what if I had been on the phone when that whole thing happened? What if I hadn't been busy? What would I have said? I said, baby, just give them this freaking dog. Just, we'll get another dog. But in fairness, I don't think it would have made any difference, because when you get down to it, they didn't shoot Josh over that puppy. They shot Josh because they wanted to kill somebody. That's all. Because if that's not true, why'd they shoot him? It's not normal. It's not psychologically normal to put up an ad on NextDoor, free puppies, and then give the puppy away, then come back hours later and demand it at gunpoint. That's dark triad shit right there. That's not normal. It's not normal to have what you're robbing someone of and then still shoot them. This was not over the puppy. I mean, the puppy was the lure, the puppy was the hook. There is something seriously wrong with these people, though, psychologically, mentally, that they would do something like this. I always call them in my head the free puppy killers, because it's just, I think it's really apt. That's who they are. It's not normal. I wonder what it must have been like for them after they escaped. You know? I understand that they were speeding away or some crap. What was it like for them when they got back to, I don't know, wherever they went? How did they discuss this among themselves? How they were gonna get away with this? I had to scroll past that free puppy image he sent me an hour before he died, and I scrolled up to his message that he gave me for Father's Day. It was his first Father's Day. And it's so hard to hear his voice saying how much he loved his boys, and that they're his boys, that, you know, he never called them his stepkids, like, never. Even before we were a couple, you know, from the time Josh moved in. He said, those are my kids. You know, even if it was like as Uncle Josh, he was just so determined that he was going to protect those kids and take care of those kids and give those kids a better life. You know, I didn't understand how to process the whole idea that Josh had come up to live with us. It was not my idea. I didn't want him to live with us. I barely knew him, and then all of a sudden, my ex just moved this guy in without consulting me at all. Like, at all. And Josh did not know that. And I was not comfortable with it. And, you know, Josh got pretty uncomfortable pretty quick, because once he figured out that I had not been consulted, that was just awkward as hell for him. And yet at the same time, he understood I was in danger, so he was trying to figure out how to keep me safe, protect me because of this stupid serial killer situation, and at the same time not step on toes. I mean, it was beyond awkward. But there was this time, there was a guy that came up to my 9-year-old behind our house one day. He had a puppy. God, any stories with puppies are just so hard for me to relate now. But this guy had a puppy, and he was letting my little boy play with it. And I was with my little boy, so I thought it was okay. And we both were playing with this puppy. And I realized at one point that Josh was at a distance, like watching this whole interaction just so carefully. Like, the entire time this guy had this puppy for my little boy, Josh, it was like at a distance, he wasn't batting an eyelash. And I realized from his posture, how unflinching he was this entire time. There was no reason for him to be awkward around me or vice versa, because he did really have purpose being there, living with us, because nobody was ever going to hurt my kids. Like, freaking nobody was going to ever lay a hand on my kids with him around. I knew when I saw him watching with absolute clarity that this was a man who was willing to die. Absolutely willing to die for these children. You know, and even if I got hit by a car, would not matter. He was still gonna be there for these kids till, like, his last frickin' breath. And I knew it, and I said that to him, that I knew that he was willing to do everything for these kids, but nobody else, frankly, was. Like, he was so devoted to them. And to hear his voice from Father's Day talking about that this was his first Father's Day and he missed his boys and he was willing to do absolutely anything for his kids. And he was doing everything for his kids. And he missed them and he loved them and wanted to be with them because it was Father's Day. And to think, just a little while later, he got them a puppy and these bastards shot him for it. I just don't understand why Deunn Willis and Danielle Durand did this. Like, why they had to go to this extreme. why they had to kill somebody. He should have been able to be here for the next Father's Day. He should have been here for so many Father's Days. It was why they deserve, I say again, the maximum penalty. Because they didn't have to do this. They didn't have to take a dad away from his kids. It's not just about his suffering. I mean, he would have been thinking about his boys when he was dying. I know he was.